morning, everyone. I'm Sakshi from the Literature Times, and today we have Ankita Singh, ma'am, author of Because You Matter, who is also senior data manager. So, welcome, ma'am. Today we are going to discuss about her book and her.
Yeah, hello Sakshi. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you, ma'am. So, first, my question is, what inspired you to write this book? Because You Matter.
Yeah. So, Because You Matter was not written in one particular time span. It's a collection of poems that I've written, like some are few days apart. Some of them have been written like a year back. It's just a compilation. So, what inspired me is the life experiences that I have had, not only within my close acquaintances, but also like passing by some of my colleagues when I interact with them. So, what I feel is that in today's generation, we don't focus much on mental awareness, mental health,
Yes.
and self
Yes.
love. That is important to promote. So, that is why I wanted to write all these pieces reflecting the theme of self love and promoting happiness through, even if no one is there with you can still be happy.
You have described the different stages of life, how in every stage we have struggles and everything. So I want to know how did you come up with the idea that each stages have different struggle, how we classify that and explain it?
Yeah. So, for each stage, I myself have been a teenager once and I
Yes,
have
ma'am.
prepared for academic exams. I have given like my 100%, 200%, and I have faced failures, I have faced rejections. So I know how it is to live far from family. And for the first time you're out in the city and the struggle for if you see, there is a poem where I've mentioned about the hostel life and the food that sucks.
Yes,
So those are all bit by bit little experiences, and then you have pressure from family back home to perform better, to do good.
yes,
So that is one phase. Being a teenager, you have that pressure, the
yes,
academic pressure, and also the pressure to succeed within your peers also. Like someone is having a very great love life, you should also be having that. So this pressure, that unsaid pressure.
yes,
Then coming to the work phase. So there also we all try to aim for getting the highest salary and
yes,
then good in everything. So you don't have to depend on EMIs. And then
yes,
you have a vehicle. You should own a home by this and this age. You should be settled. Like girls are often told that you should be married by this age. You should do this. So
yes,
there is a criteria and a timeline that society defines for us.
correct.
So I wanted to just touch upon all those points. And this should speak not only about me, but to every human being whom I may have met or may not have met. But I think somewhere all of us do struggle. So we have to realize that we matter and what is our goal, our aspiration, our ambitions, that should be of utmost priority before listening to society.
Yes, ma'am. So I want to know if there is any particular book that you write that has inspired you to write this book.
Okay. I think not a book in particular, but I've read a lot of literature. I've heard many like influential speakers. So I'll not
Yes,
say a particular book like that. But yeah, some of the themes I can say I've taken from a mix of many poets. And there was a time when I was reading a lot of Japanese literature and I read Murakami a lot. So he describes about the loss of love. Like when you
yes,
lose a loved one, what is like that grief and that pain. So he describes that. So
yes.
there can be a few ideas that I've taken from here and there, but mostly it is from my life and people I would have crossed paths with, even my close knit family back home. So yeah.
And what is about this book that makes it so special for the readers from the author point of view? You want
Yeah. So from my point of view, like today, reading culture, we need to promote more reading culture. I think first point, like people are
yes,
reading obviously, but because of Instagram and all these trends of reels,
yes,
so our attention span that is decreasing a lot.
yes,
So like no one wants to stick to more than one page at a time, so we keep scrolling. That information is more than enough, and then we scroll to the next reel. or the next video that is there. So I think reading culture will develop that keen eye to know about a lot of things happening around us. Also, this book, speaking about the book Because You Matter, this is for every age group, I will say. Whoever can read, this is in English, so whoever can read English, it's for them. And someone who hasn't picked poetry, they want to pick poetry. Someone who don't like poetry, but they just want to give a try. And those who have just read novels, but still want to just check out the book, so you can, obviously. And this is for every age group. I think it should cater to every age group because it's for the teenager. It's for the someone who is also a retired person. So when a person retires from his daily schedule, not I should not say retired, but say a government employee, and who has served for a particular number of years in a job, and then when he has finally free time to check on his hobbies. So that is the time you know that what you really want because you are not bounded by a routine right now. So it is for them. Then for people who are struggling a lot with anxiety and depression, this is one topic we don't touch upon. So there is a message that I want to send to everyone that we should check upon our friends and family more often because you never know what is the pain behind a smiling face. So of course you matter, but also you should tell your friends and family this that you also matter. So at least you should have one person, your very close friends, maybe, so you can check upon them regularly if they are doing good. And I think that makes all the difference because many times we don't share with our closest people also.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's such a deep message. So I want to know more about the depression phase a person go through. If there is any personal experience that has worked in a way in this poem related to depression and anxiety.
Yeah, there is a poem called Prisoner I've written. It's not my own personal experience, but it's about like a few people whom I've seen very closely struggling. And I really regretted a point that because of my busy schedule or something, like you are engrossed in work and you cannot check upon people. But people do struggle, struggle so much that you cannot go about your daily life as well. So if you see the poem Prisoner, I mentioned that there is a line which is like there is a pile of books lying around and all my clothes are scattered around and I don't have the mental strength to accomplish those simple tasks as well. So yeah, this anxiety and depression is something we really need to talk about, not only in adults like you and me, but also especially I will say teenagers. And then I think also for I've been talking about women a lot, but there are few points which I've point upon men in our society. Okay, so it should also be uh, men's mental health is something that needs to be checked upon, and we have to spread that awareness as well because I feel that many of the people uh, they are struggling a lot today, and they don't have any. They're not sharing their I'll say the pain or the suffering that they go through with anyone.
Yes, ma'am,
So
that's
this is
true.
one thing.
Yes, and I want to know what was the reaction of your family and friends when you first wrote this poem and wanted to publish it.
Okay. So my family they have been always supporting me right from my childhood, right? Because I used to scribble a lot since my school days. I've also penned a novel, but I was unable to publish it. I wrote it during my college when I just started. I think around 12 years back. I had written a novel, but I could not publish it due to. So then everyone, my friends and family, they did push me that you should publish this. So I went ahead with it. Yeah. So reaction, of course, family will be very happy because they know that this is something that I always wanted to pursue. So they were like over the top, were sharing me photos of the author copies that I got. And friends, they have been there always. They've supported me. A few of my friends who have been through when I wrote the first novel back when I just did my 12th that time, and then I'd written that novel. So they have been with me since those days. So they were really happy. But one thing that struck me also was first when he published this, I thought that people do not read much in India, right? We have to promote that reading culture, and especially poetry. This genre is bit difficult, I would say, because college students also teenagers they'll pick up a novel and they'll go about it, they'll read it, they'll share it among their friends. But poetry is something that is deep and very emotional. So for it to connect with every person, I think
Yes,
it requires time. And even if you see this book of mine, you read a poem and then you close the book and then you can see what is the meaning and how deep impact it leaves on your life. So you might need to feel it, so you need time for it. That is one thing.
yes,
So I saw that many people whom I don't know, strangers, they did call me and say, I really needed to read this today. So thank you so much for writing, and that really. So I think the title "Because You Matter," whatever it was meant to do, it is doing today. I am very very happy about it.
yes, sir. That's true. So, like you mentioned, some reviews. So, I want to know what was some few reviews that touched your heart that really appreciated about your writing.
Yeah. So some people have told me about The Prisoner. That was not my favorite poem at all because nobody wants to talk about mental anxiety and depression.
Yes,
I thought
that's
that nobody wants to talk even. So even in social media, if you see, if you scroll through Instagram and all, people post the happy side of their lives. If you're taking
yes,
a vacation or you're
yes,
enjoying somewhere, so we post that, but nobody shares the challenges that we face.
yes,
So
sir.
I was shocked that people are loving that prisoner poem, and then everyone, I think there was a section where everyone commented that, oh yeah, I am also a prisoner of my thoughts. So now I know that this resonates with so many people. So
Yes,
I
ma'am.
just want the book to reach as many people as possible, and everyone should be reading it. There is another poem, "The Guilt of a Mom," which I've written, and
Yes,
that is in my current professional role. So I met a
yes,
colleague, and she mentioned to me that I am really not able to take care of my kids, with this hectic schedule. And that
yes,
inspired me to write that poem, "The Guilt of a Mom," because uh,
yes,
women, I think we have this extra, we are special, we have the superpower of having kids,
yes,
nurturing them.
yes,
We have the superpower, but added to that, there are many set of responsibilities a woman goes through. So at the workplace, and then you're managing the house, and then at some point, the girl wonders that should I cut my own wings? Should I be there for my child, give wings to my child, or should I cut my own wings and just be at home, leave everything? So that guilt is always there. Like it's
yes.
easy to judge from outside, but that guilt is there from other, right? So these were the two things which really touched my heart.
It's true. So you have written such a feminist poem. I want to know if there will be any more women empowering poems or a story that you want to write in future.
Yeah, yeah, I'm working on another novel right now, so I'll be writing that.
So if there is any incident or any person who might have affected the whole part of the poem or the book that has a special place in your heart.
Yeah, yeah, there are many. I have my close friends and family, but I'm
Yes,
afraid I'll not be able to name like one by one.
yes,
There are many
definitely.
people.
Yes, ma'am. And since you have written this poem after observing so many peoples, like you have mentioned different peoples and the story behind everyone, that they matter, their story matters. So I want to know how you observe their daily struggles and how did you come up with that? This is the behind the story of their life.
So I've been very observant as a child. I was an introvert. I think later on when I grew up and I left home and then I joined college and then I started with work. So I started making friends then and I started talking to people. Then I came to know many different perspectives,
Yes,
and that helps me to. So I'm very good at observing, I should say. When I talk to a person for 5-10 minutes, I can know the struggle which a person is facing.
yes,
I really think that is something good in me. I'll say I'm blessed. So I have been there for my friends, and so whenever they're in any difficulty, they just call me. and we'll just chat. I think it's very important that we be there for our people because today there is so much of pressure, even for the kids, for the teenagers, for adults. Even you see, every day there are so many news of people giving up their lives, and I just hate that idea. Every time there is a suicide news, I think that maybe I can be there for one person and I can save that person.
That's true. There is a value of life that every person should know that there is value of their life. So I want you
Yeah,
to, if there is
life
any
is precious. I think. Yes, Sakshi, please go ahead.
yes, ma'am, please continue.
Yeah, yeah. No, I was saying that life is indeed very, very precious. We should not be bound by these all definitions of society. Like some people say, you should complete your degrees by this age. You should buy a house by this age. You should have kids by this age. No,
Yes,
it's not necessary. Everyone is on their own timeline.
yes, that's true.
And what
Yes,
if you think that this is something that will work for me? So you go ahead. You should not listen to so much. But there will always be judgments. You do anything good, bad, anything. So you have to
yes,
ignore that and listen to your inner voice and just work on that path. That's it.
that's really inspiring, ma'am. That was the whole point I wanted to ask about the personal message that you wanted to give the readers for this.
Yeah.
So I want to ask one final question. Is there is anything that I have missed in this interview that you want to share with your readers and your followers?
Yeah, I think you have covered up most of the points. There is one thing that at a point you mentioned that this is a feminist book. No, it is not. Like feminism talks about equal rights for women. Like women should have equal rights as men, right? But I also want to touch upon men's health. That is why there's a poem I've written, Gentlemen, you don't suffer.
Yes,
Don't you suffer? Gentlemen, don't you suffer, right?
yes,
So we don't talk much about the struggles that men go through. Like
yes,
many people that I've observed, they are just expected to earn and give a very good and comforting lifestyle to their family,
ma'am.
to the kids. And they don't share much because if a man cries, he's like, Arey, you are a girl. Are you a girl? Why are you crying? Like people hate the idea of man becoming feminine or exhibiting the feminine quality. Like tears are usually uh, showcased in a society as a feminine quality, right? So
Yes,
I feel it's also for men's mental health. So there is a poem where I've mentioned that lady, you need not be a man. I think that is the poem where I mentioned that men and women both need to work together.
yes,
Like we cannot be at the extreme end that I don't need such and such people in my life. Both need to work together towards creating a better society. Right? That's the whole point.
yes. Actually, it's about that uh, both men's emotion and female emotions are important. We cannot neglect anyone's emotion. That's
Yeah,
really
and I should not. I maybe we should not bind this by gender, men,
yes,
women, and
yes,
LGBTQ plus, like everyone.
everyone's
Yeah.
human emotions matter. I could say.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. It was really an inspiring interview. I really enjoyed talking with you. It was really an amazing experience.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sakshi. Thank you for having me. Even I enjoyed answering your
Thank
questions.
you,
Yeah.
ma'am.